How do you come up with a good startup idea? I think about this a lot, and I don't have the answer for you. I don't think anybody has a clear-cut answer for you, but I can give you a framework. And to do that, I need to tell you my story. Let's rewind a couple months back. I was just working on a startup called Reconnect. We talked to a lot of other young entrepreneurs who said it was really hard to find other people like them to work on startups with. And we thought, what if we could connect young entrepreneurs who wanted to create startups with each other in their local areas based on their different projects? That was the gist of it. Long story short, it eventually fell out. The team disbanded. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I knew I wanted to start something new, and I felt like I didn't have the right knowledge to actually build a startup. I really took a step back from people that I've been working with just to learn. It kind of worked out, but not really. All these, do you see all this? I've read all of these books from front to end. Some of these twice, this one and this one twice. Just look, intellectualizing is kind of useful, but to a degree, let me tell you, you can't beat experience. What getting all this knowledge helps you do is I've built a better intuitive sense of what a startup looks like if it's succeeding or failing, or what a team looks like if it's succeeding or failing, or what a founder looks like if they're succeeding or failing, or what you kind of need to do along the process. But to really find the ideas, you can't just sit around and think about them. And so now that I know all this stuff, it's useless unless I apply it, right? And I want to take all this shit I've learned and actually start the next thing. So I've been working recently to try and come up with a new idea. The number one thing you have to do is find a problem that you believe is worthy of solving, that you're going to be able to commit beforehand to going the long haul with, all the way through the grimy shit to solve your problem. So one thing you can do that I've done to find problems is talk to people. If you ask people, what's the most difficult part of your job? They'll open up. If you're sincere, at least, and people can tell that pretty well. I've asked graphic designers, musicians, friends. I just call them up and ask them, what's the hardest part about making a song from conception to finished file? Or what's the hardest part about graphic design from conception to finished design? Yesterday, I went to all of the restaurants and grocery stores near my house, and I asked these people, what's the hardest thing? I just walked in and I asked the managers and the people, the cashiers or whatever, what's the hardest part about running a restaurant?
Yeah, you do it, because you're the girl up here.
What would you say is the most difficult part about running a restaurant for you personally?
It's be here open to close like 24/7.
Can you say more?
Because you have to have life, and basically when you run a restaurant, you don't have time for family or stuff you have to do.
So that like work and life balance?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's for me that's the most hard thing.
What do you think would make you happier day to day at work?
Wow, yeah, I'm usually happy when I'm really busy. Like that made me happy because I know I'm doing something, you know, that's good.
Really
but
well.
Right. But if it's slow, like today, it's, I'm just wasting my time.
There you have it.
I just answer to you the honest, you know.
And I've written what they've said into this journal, and that helps you a bit. But here's another thing. There's this gap. There's a gap between understanding a problem from talking to a lot of people and understanding the problem intimately. And so the best problems to solve are ones that you've faced or kind of faced and then can learn from other people. And then there's another thing. It's like some ideas, most people will tell you you won't know the worth of an idea until you actually start working on it. And that is true sometimes, but for example, I went to some grocery store, and this dirty ass grocery store, I asked the manager, I said, what's one of the most difficult thing about running this grocery store? And he said, cleaning. And you can think, you know, do I really want to work all the way through the hardships I'll face to help make grocery stores clean? Or I asked someone in a gas station. Hey, so what would you say is the most difficult part about running a gas station? And he said the hardest part about running the gas station was dealing with angry lottery players. I mean, you could make something like a machine that automates the playing process so that they don't have to interact with the people at the gas station. But, you know, is that something you really want to work on? Not for me, I don't know. So, here's the thing. I don't have an answer. And the reason that I'm going to get back into YouTube and videos is because you just need to get out and do more yourself, experience more yourself, so that you can get a feel for the world and get out of your head and start interacting with more people. And then, instead of thinking so much directly about it, let your mind wander a bit. And before you know it, or before I know it, I think I will stumble on the next problem that I think is worth solving. And hopefully you will too. Alright, I hope you come up with the next $1 billion idea. Peace and love.